Welcome to Midlife Unlimited, the podcast for women who want more. I'm your host, Kate Porter, the Midlife Metamorphosis Coach, and I'm delighted to be joined by my episode 72. How did that happen? Guest, the wonderful Nikola Howard, Life Alchemist. I love that title. I'm going to be explaining more about how that came about. To give a taste of our episode that's available now, wherever you listen to your podcasts, how to get off the Blood Sugar Rollercoaster. And I needed this episode. And if you haven't tuned in yet, it's available wherever you listen to your podcasts. Go and tune into the full length one. But for now, Nikola, welcome. It is wonderful to have you here.
Good morning. How are you?
I am good. Well, we're recording on Friday the 13th, but I like a 13. I've got my lucky horseshoe, right, it's very me, ring on. So we're all good. We're all good. You're just back from the big festoon, so
Yeah,
you're
so
all fired up.
I'm
Ready.
still having a little bit of event whiplash and getting my head together. But yes, we're all hip hop and happening, so it's all good.
Well, the big question is, at the big festoon, did you get the 3 p.m. slump, or as I like to call it, listeners, viewers, hummus o'clock? Or were you so? Because I think if we're, it depends where we are, doesn't it? But it is a real thing, isn't it?
Well, this comes into what I've got 3 tenets to how you live life. 1, if you're hungry, eat. 2, if you're not hungry, stop eating or don't eat at all. And 3, make the best you can with the circumstances you find yourself with. So, of course, the big festoon, Danny has just upgraded. She's moved to the AO arena. So it was arena food. And so on Wednesday, I just had, because they gave us a very nice Greek salad for the lunch option for both days, because Danny is very generous. She gives you lunch. But that really wasn't enough. So by the time I got to the end of the day, I was like, I really need food. My nose is the indicator of my appetite, and my nose was stone cold. So I went, and then I had a very, very lovely dinner in a pub. And I basically had the jacket potato with the stuff on top. But I asked them, well, can you just put it on vegetables? So they did. So for me, I had my beef chili with, unfortunately, Mexican accompaniment, which turned out to be sweet corn with chili tomato. Not ideal, but hey, that's not a problem. On a nice bed of broccoli, and I think it was broccoli, spinach, and green beans. It was absolutely lovely. And then on the yesterday, because it wasn't a Sunday today, it is Friday today. On yesterday, again, I had the Greek salad, and I thought, no, I'm still hungry and I've got a train journey later. So I'm going to go and get one of their burgers. And literally, I just stripped out and the beef burger itself was really, really lovely. But it was about this big. It wasn't the biggest thing, but it was enough to give me the protein I needed to tide me over until I could get to Manchester Piccadilly, buy myself some bits and bobs from the M&S and the Sainsbury's, and then eat that on the train. And I was well fed for the rest of the day. So
it is literally,
to answer your question, I didn't get the 3 p.m. slump on Thursday because I ate appropriately, but I did start feeling very familiar on about 4:30 on Wednesday because I hadn't fed myself, and I know that was why. So yeah.
But that's the thing, because you're all about not just talking about it, but giving us the tools to deal with it, find out why it's happening. Now, sorry if I looked a bit distracted just now. I've just had a note from StreamYard saying that there's a problem with it streaming live to LinkedIn. It's trying to do that. As far as I understand, it's still recording. So we'll just carry on. Didn't I just say Friday the 13th? I've got my lucky ring. If we are on LinkedIn, hello. If this is just going to be uploaded onto YouTube, and if not, if all else fails, we'll just come back and do it again, Nikola, because it's always lovely to chat to you.
Absolutely. And there's also no reason why you can't upload it to LinkedIn afterwards if it does happen to not go live.
Well, we will do that. Belts and braces, because that's what we're all about, isn't it? So we say, yeah, it is a real thing. And people say, oh, are you using it as an excuse? Does it lead to the brain fog? Well, I've got a serious dose of that today, and I am postmenopausal. So in theory, when you hear, it's like, oh, you shouldn't be getting, well, I should. No, it's real. I get all the, it's still, yes, it looks like it's not showing up on LinkedIn. Well, we'll just carry on and put it on there as a little video and on YouTube.
Absolutely.
Yes, carbs play a lot of role in this, don't they? And an alternative title for our episode, and obviously it links into your book as well, and I'd love to chat about that, how to do low carb in a way that works for you, because there's loads of information out there, isn't it? And it can be bamboozling.
Yeah.
But also, as you said, there is a difference between the American recipes and ingredients and taste buds, really,
Mm.
and us here in the UK as well. So, obviously, we talk about it in the audio episode, but talk me through it again, because I learned so much in our chat.
Well, in terms of the way we as the UK work, our food manufacturers are not, I want to use the words vicious, but that's possibly a little bit too harsh, but they're not as capitalist, an even better word. They're not as capitalist as the Americans. They're not as manipulative of our food and our bodies as American companies are. The more that American companies own, of course, the more that our food then suffers. But we also have a far fresher food culture. It's very, very rare for anyone to be more than, say, half an hour's drive away from somewhere you can buy fresh food. We do not have as many what's called a food desert in the UK. It's relatively easy for us to get fresh food. A lot of America live on canned goods, frozen goods, which are not, there's nothing to be said wrong with frozen goods, but there's stuff that has been prepackaged. And when they prepackage it, that's the excuse to spray it with things or do things to it. Anything you have to put inside something else. So Americans live, a lot of them live in food deserts where there is not fresh availability 100, 200, and 350 miles, which is, I think, very, very sad, just because of the geography of the country.
Yeah.
So we naturally have always had a fresher culture. We've always had that, the roots in, we can get fresh meat, we can get fresh fruit, we can get fresh vegetables, we can buy bread baked that day relatively easily. So we have that different, well, I want my plate to be vibrant anyway. And we
eat the rainbow, isn't it? It's
and we've not had as much pre-packaged, even with the rise of the greed is good, whatever, in the 80s, single parenting, etc., meaning we've got increasingly time poor and had to rely more on the popty ping, as the Welsh snarkily call it. And it's that whole, we do have a vast plethora of packaged food. But again, you can walk into most shops and look at the back of a packet and think, I could cook this. Not everything, certainly not everything. But we're not as down on ourselves as some other places in the world. We also have the protection, even though we don't have the EU protection anymore, but we imported their food rules when we left. So we still have those protections around what chemistry actually goes into things. Things that are what's called a chronic toxin. So a chronic
toxin. I'm listening. I'm multitasking. I'm just checking
notes. I'm on my soapbox. They basically protect us from the worst of the things that might do us what's called chronic harm. Acute harm is stuff that's going to kill us now, right now. We're very, very good as humans at looking around for danger and seeing those acute toxins and then not doing anything with them. We're not so good with chronic toxins. Oh yeah, that's a tomorrow problem. That's a later me problem. And that is just part of the way human brain is wired. We don't pay as much attention to something that's going to kill us next week or next year or in 10 years time, which is one of the reasons why we have
plenty of other stuff to in the meantime,
plenty of other stuff right now. So I am all about thinking about that tomorrow. All about thinking about that. Well, what is it going to do to my body? I'm aiming to live to 100. That's my aim. And I also want to get there healthy.
Well, that's it. I mean, there is, and I'm excited that we're part of it, a longevity revolution going on.
Absolutely.
And the focus, I think, it's amazing and so empowering that the focus has been on raising awareness of menopause, perimenopause, and it is brilliant that we're actually having the blinking conversations now. We're talking about it. We're not shying away from the brain fog, the hormones, the just not knowing who we are anymore, thinking we're going insane, thinking we're depressed when we're not, being told we're depressed when we're not. And I think it is a logical shift because, as you say, longevity it's not just a buzzword, it's a reality. And you are helping us prepare for that. It's like not preparing for battle, but preparing to make this body that we've been given, this amazing body, making her or him ready to make the most of every precious moment that we have got left.
If there were no evolutionary advantage to there being an army of grannies and granddads in the world, we would die at 50. And it's as simple as that. And if you think about sort of even in the times where we didn't have as much modern medicine, and we theoretically they say, oh yeah, we died in our 30s, there is ample archaeological evidence to show that human beings could be existing into their 60s, 70s and 80s. Not and we're talking hominid archaeology here. As long as you did something that would kill you happen to you, an accident, broken something, there are definitely archaeological records of Homo erectus, Homo habilis, all the Homo before us is until they were 60, 70, 80 in the skeletal records of the people that we found. So there is definitely some form of evolutionary advantage to there being, as I say, an army of grannies and granddads to play their part in the tribe, to become the wisdom that allows us to survive. Complete related tangents. Squids and octopi, they have the same camera eye as us, but they developed it better. They have vast intelligence. They are incredibly intelligent animals, but yet when they are born, unfortunately, the parent octopuses, I can't remember, I think there are females lay the eggs and away they go. So they don't have the benefit of nurture or education. They just have to survive by themselves.
Yeah.
And so one of the advantages we have...
Don't they go off and die? I'm sure I saw some documentary in the Parenthood.
Yeah,
recently. It was just before my son moved out. And I remember we were watching it together and I was bawling my eyes out. The female octopus takes herself off.
Yeah,
and almost
she just, because she hasn't eaten, because she's been nurturing.
Oh.
And so we have the advantage in the fact that we stick around for our young. We educate them, we bring them up, we allow them to survive in the world. We give them the knowledge of, well, this is how you pick up a rock and smash something. This is how you drive a car, bringing it from there to there. And so we have this massive nurturing capability. So again, octopuses could rule the world. Octopus, octopi, I can never remember. I think it's octopuses because it's Latin.
Octopi.
So it's that whole, if octopuses did the same as us, we probably would not be the dominant species on the planet. Octopuses would, because of the intelligence that they have.
And they'd be better at juggling than we are as well, because look at all the tentacles.
Infinitely. But it's that case of the way we evolved, the way we grew up in tribes, the way that we nurture ourselves, nurture each other, nurture our young, look after each other as a tribe. We are not supposed to be solo animals. We evolved in pack, in tribe. I don't even know what the collective group noun for human is. I must admit, I must go and look that one up. Yeah. But we have this need. So it's not just about regulating what we put in here. It's regulating what we put in our eyes. It's regulating who we are literally touching, who are our influences, and all of that then feeds into later life, so that when we get there, we can then give the benefit of what we've been through to the ones coming up and doing what they need to do to perpetuate us. And we therefore then have that duty on us to be healthy, vibrant, to keep our muscle mass. I've done a lot of ranting in the last couple of weeks about how starvation strips our bodies of metabolic muscle, because that's the bit that is metabolism. Metabolism is muscle. And so low fat, low calorie dieting keeps us weak, keeps us malnourished effectively. And that's one of the reasons why it can get in the bin. Diet industry can get in the bin totally. And why eating whole, nutritious, appropriate food for the human appropriate diet is called, is, I believe, the way that we, as then grannies hitting our 50s, 60s, 70s, even though I'm not one, I'm happily child-free. But yes, I probably am a granny age right now. We can then have that vitality. We can keep our movement. I look around at the 70 and 80-year-olds that are hunched over the shopping trolley because they've not had the muscle tone to be able to keep themselves upright. That's what that's about. But yet we also know that
we talk about now it is use it or lose it. Yeah, and as you say, it's about consciously thinking about what we put in our bodies.
Mm.
And you've been through your own metamorphosis very much so, hasn't you, in terms of changing your attitude to food
Mm.
and how you use food as well, because that can be a very big part. I mean, you know, I make no bones about, or no secret of the fact that I used to use alcohol. And a lot of people, particularly women maybe, do use food in a similar way, whether it be comfort, whether it's self-medicating, using food. But now in midlife, it is, if you haven't done it before, it's not too late, is it? To reimagine our relationship with food, to rethink it. And obviously, you know, protein's a buzzword at the moment, fiber as well is but these are things that automatically need to be in our diet anyway. They're not new things, are they?
Mm. Well, I could have a half-hour argument with you on fibre, actually, but definitely, we are a new person every morning we wake up. Our cells are turning over. Our gut is renewed every single day, every single 24 hours. Our bones are only 7 years old. So every 7 years, we are a completely new human. You don't have to wait till 7 years, but the way that our cellular turnover works, bodily, you're a different person every day. Every time you take in an influence, that rewires a neuron. So your brain is different every second. After this conversation, we will not be the same people that we were before it, because I'll have given stuff and my brains will go click, click, click. Your brain will have taken in stuff and go click, 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 and it will incorporate what we did. It will put that memories in, and it will be changed. So every moment, between Viktor Frankl, one of my favorite quotes, between stimulus and response, there is a moment. And in that moment, we have choice. It's one of my favorite quotes. Because
that summarizes everything I'm about. Yeah, about being focused in the moment, as you say, making that choice. Because another great quote, by not making a choice, we are still making a choice.
Absolutely. What is it?
We're getting quite deep here. We're getting quite deep. But obviously, you know, in our full length episode, I'm loving this because we're having this is almost a completely new conversation, viewers. You're getting double. We're not repeating ourselves at all. So you can go and listen to the audio episode for something completely different as well. There are so many hints, not hints, you don't hint, you tell, tips, advice. But let's share some advice now, if we may, before we go on to your contact details, which are on the show notes for our episode and on the Midlife Unlimited podcast website. But in terms of changing the way we think about food, getting off that blood sugar roller coaster, what are some, on this Friday the 13th that we're recording, whether we're streaming live or not to LinkedIn, we're going to be on LinkedIn, we're going to be on YouTube. What can we do today? What steps can we take? Small steps, but powerful, make a difference steps.
I always start off my clients. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. I start.
Grab some water.
I start my clients with a 3-day reset, essentially, and that's not changing anything the way you eat. That's observing what you eat. I call it shift 1. So making a 3-day emotional qualitative diary, not quantities, not judgments, just what how much of what did I eat, how much was processed, how much was sugary, how much was alcohol, how much was protein, how much was real food, how much was fake food, how busy am I, how did I feel when I ate that. So I have this worksheet that details these sorts of hints around, well, what was it? What was breakfast, lunch, dinner? And the random things that ended up in my mouth. Because
I'm thinking we're going into a weekend as we record this. So that might, for some people, that might be a good time. But I would imagine,
advise
I'd imagine that
Sunday,
depending when in the week we did that 3-day stock take, would be different as well, whether you're in the office for 3 days, whether you're away for those. It's getting that snapshot, isn't it?
I advise, or again, the remote working's changed it a bit, but I was always Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because Friday is normally a good reflection of what we've done during the week, because we tend to do the same things day to day during the week. But Friday, Saturday and Sunday are normally days where we do things. So they're always the best day, I feel, to do those 3 days observation of yourself, because knowledge is power, but applied knowledge actually gets you moving. So once you actually know what you're up to, then we'll look in stage 2. Shift 2 is the next 7 days. Avoid obvious sugar. You don't have to remove it. You don't have to go be perfection, but just thinking, oh yeah, this is sugary. I'll choose not to eat that right now. And if you eat it later, you eat it later. No big deal, no judgment. But it's
you're
then
delaying it, aren't you?
Yeah, you're layering it, and you're using 7 days to build the process, the habit of choosing to do something else. And so all of my hope protocol is very slow like this. It's using 7 days to build the habit of choice. And again, when people do my entire course, there's journaling prompts and there's other bits and pieces as well that allow you to then just really dig into, well, why is this random thing going in my face right now? Because that's normally what's up. Or why am I choosing to not eat? Why am I starving myself? If you're at the other end, because of course, nourishment is not just about larger people getting smaller. It's about people that have been suffering under the delusion that they are possibly not good enough, not worthy, not whatever, to eat food itself. So it works both ends, which is the great thing about having a framework for effectively eating supportive nutrition, is it will literally work for anyone with whatever's going on with you.
No, I love that. Now, obviously, all your contact details are on the show notes and on the Midlife Unlimited podcast website. But just before we went live, well, we may not be going live. We might just be recording. We're not quite sure. You did mention that you've got a new thing. So we're going to put the link to that in the show notes as well as soon as we finish this. But could you talk me through what your new thing is and how we can connect with you?
Awesome. So I had a brain fart because I was talking to people, as you do, and it's that whole change is scary. I've been changing so much that I'm almost I'm inured to it now. Change is amazing. Let's go for it. For a lot of people, change can feel too much. So I then wrote a little guide around how we can, as humans, adapt to change, and of course, then adapt to the change of changing our diets. So sort of whenever it was last week, it fell out of my head. When I write, I work best. This is talking about finding out your own energy and your own tolerances. I write my best stuff between 5 p.m. and 11 p.m. So I hit the keyboard about 6 p.m. on, I think it was last Tuesday or Wednesday, and wrote this lovely new guide, put it all together, and that we will share the URL with you. That then introduces you to the concepts that I talk about and gently invites you to come and join the Hope Protocol as a course. And the lovely Kate will share the link to that in the show notes when we're done. And where you can actually find me, I am Nikola Howard, as it says on my name over here. Nikola Howard, most places on the internet with no spaces, definitely on Instagram, definitely Facebook. I think Facebook might be Nikola Howard Life Alchemist. You've also got that. So, and of course, my website is nicolahoward.uk. So if you Google me, I am the only one on the planet. There used to be 2 of us. She got married. She's now got a different surname. So I am the only
what are you going to say then?
Spelled
Nicola Howard,
yeah. She is an American social media marketer. But yeah, she changed her surname a little while ago. She obviously chose to when she got married. So now I am the only Nicola Howard spelt this way on the planet.
Oh, I love that. No, there are several Kate Porters out there, one of which is an American politician, I think. But no, you can come and find me.
Porter. She's amazing.
Ah, right. But there's there was another Kate Porter who's an influencer of some sort. But you can come and find me. All my contact details are in the show notes for LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. And there's the link, obviously, to the Midlife Unlimited podcast website and my own it's coming together. I thought, no, I'm going to I've had this URL, kateporter.co.uk. Let's go and use that to actually put everything together in one place for my one-to-one coaching and more, my all-in-one group and one-to-one. Anyway, fabulous. Go and check out the full-length episode. Who knows where this little chat's going to end up? It'll definitely be on the YouTube channel. So hello, YouTube. Nicola, thanks again for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, there's a new episode of Midlife Unlimited audio-wise every Thursday, wherever you get your podcasts. So here's to being fabulous, flourishing together, keeping going on Friday the 13th and every day, and living Midlife Unlimited. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.